October 1929. Wall Street looked unstoppable. Stock prices had been rising for years. Ordinary people were borrowing money just to buy shares. Taxi drivers were giving stock tips. Newspapers promised a new era of endless prosperity. It felt like the future had arrived. But it wasn't prosperity. It was a bubble. And bubbles don't burst slowly. They collapse. On October 24th, panic hit the New York Stock Exchange. Investors rushed to sell. Prices fell. Then they fell again. Then they collapsed entirely. This was Black Thursday, and it was only the beginning. Within days, billions of dollars vanished, not physically, but on paper. Wealth that people believed they had simply disappeared. But here's what most people misunderstand. The stock market crash did not cause the Great Depression. It exposed it. Behind the scenes, the economy was fragile. Banks had loaned aggressively. Consumers were drowning in debt. Factories were producing more goods than people could afford to buy. America looked rich, but it was over-leveraged. When panic spread, people rushed to banks to withdraw their money. There was just one problem. The money wasn't there. Banks don't keep your deposits in a vault. They lend them out. When too many people demand cash at once, the system breaks. Bank runs began. One failed bank triggered another, then another. By 1933, nearly 9,000 banks had collapsed in the United States alone. Savings were wiped out. Businesses shut down. Unemployment soared to 25%. 1 in 4 people had no job. Imagine walking through a city where factories are silent, shops are closed, and men stand in bread lines just to eat. This wasn't just an economic downturn. It was a psychological collapse. When people lose trust in the system, they stop spending. They stop investing. They stop taking risks, and that fear spreads faster than any virus. The Great Depression wasn't just about money, it was about confidence, and confidence had evaporated. Globally, the impact was devastating. International trade shrank. Countries raised tariffs to protect themselves. That only made things worse. Economic pain turned into political instability. In Germany, economic collapse fueled extremism. In the United States, the government was forced to rethink its role entirely. Enter Franklin D. Roosevelt. His New Deal programs expanded government intervention on a scale never seen before. Social security, banking reforms, public works projects. The idea was simple: restore trust, rebuild employment, stabilize the financial system. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation was created to protect bank deposits. The stock market was regulated. Financial transparency became mandatory. The rules of capitalism changed. But here's the deeper lesson. The Great Depression revealed something uncomfortable. Markets are not just numbers. They are human emotions scaled up. Greed fuels bubbles. Fear fuels crashes. And when belief disappears, even strong systems can crumble. It took more than a decade, and eventually the economic mobilization of World War II, for full recovery to take place. But the world that emerged was different. Stronger banking regulation, central banks with expanded power, governments more involved in economic stabilization. Modern economic policy was born from collapse. The Great Depression wasn't just a crisis, it was a redesign. A painful reminder that growth without stability is fragile, and that trust is the invisible foundation of every financial system. Because when trust disappears, everything else follows.